Hi guys, I'm Boreal, also known as Dina, and welcome on my channel. If you're new, I have been drawing for 8 years for now, and I've seen and drawn a lot of stuff through the years. Alright, so today's video theme is a bit different, but also on the main of art. Today, as the title also says, I am going to rank art softwares because I know that you guys that are watching me are probably artists yourself, or you like to watch artists, which is fine for both. Like, I support you for whatever part you are, you know. Anyway, I made like a template on the very known tier list maker, and I chose 22 art programs. I don't know how to say that exactly, but I didn't use like all of them, so that's why I also put like the haven't tried thing, because there are also some art programs. I specifically searched some art programs on Google to see if there are more, and of course there are more than what I know. There will be classics, there will be some you probably never heard about, and that's okay because some were also like the first time that I ever heard about them, so it's alright, we're on the same path. Also, do you like my cyberpunk hoodie? I was about to say shirt, but anyway, it has like the samurai logo on the back, but I can't like turn it out, maybe? Yeah, anyway, it's not about cyberpunk or anyway. So yeah, let's start the video. So here we have the list. Here are the rankings. All the way up is S tier, where from my perspective it's the best program, and again I repeat again from my own perspective, because I will choose the art programs based on what are my experiences with it and how I like the tools. And yeah, I will tell everything about every art program at the right moment. It's the second, it's like best, but not like my piece of, you know, it's best and you can work with it. Maybe it's your S tier, but from my perspective it's great, it's amazing, but not for S tier, you know what I mean. B, it's more like nice but not my cup of tea. C, it's like decent but not so much. And D, it's for the bad ones. I have a bad experience and haven't tried it. Basically, I haven't tried it, you know. So yeah, anyway, let's start with it because I am shaking to start. So I don't know if this makes sense. Anyway, so let's start. We have the first art program. Also, as I said, there are 22 art programs. Maybe you recognize some of them are not so familiar. I hope I will not forget some of them because I do that a lot. Anyway, so we have first Paint.I, a classic. It's like a classic. You can't put it like on your S tier or on your A tier. For me, basically, it's an A tier, and I'm going to tell you why. Before I like found Clip Studio Paint or Adobe, it was like my S tier. Don't get me wrong, Paint.I, it's an amazing art program. You can do a lot with it. You can even make your own brushes, which, let me tell you, in the 7th grade I was obsessed with it, and I really was searching for paint brushes and so on DeviantArt when I was still on DeviantArt, and in 2016, like, it was whew. So yeah, anyways, But for me, because I found Clip Studio Paint and Photoshop and they are better in my opinion. Again, I say my opinion because maybe from your own point of view, Paint.I is better than Photoshop, better than Clip Studio or Procreate or Fire Alpaca or whatever art program you're using, or I don't know, man, I don't know. But from my own perspective, it's a great program. It helped me and it's got its place in my heart, and that's why it gets an A tier. I'm sorry, not an S tier, but that's how it is. I'm sorry. The second one is Krita. I think it's Krita also. I have a bad experience with Krita because I used it back in 2014 or 2015. Can't remember exactly, but I think it was 2014 when I was at my peak of trying every art programs I could find, because I was moving from MS Paint to like other art programs, because I saw at like every big artist that they use a lot of interesting art programs and I wanted to try it some too. So that's why I used Krita too. I actually used Krita because my girlfriend tried it too and said that it has like a nice interface. It had like this dark interface, something very new for those programs back then, because a lot of programs back then had like light theme. So yeah, it wasn't changeable, but this one had like dark theme, if I remember correctly. But unfortunately I couldn't use it very much and the controls were actually very strange for me. But I saw a lot of people doing amazing works like in Paint.I or Clip Studio Paint or even Photoshop, and I'm impressed because I could never with those controls. But I think it's more about stability and how you adjust with the program, because it was the same for me when I tried Paint.I, Clip Studio Paint, especially Photoshop, because it was very new for me. So yeah, I will give it a C, not a D, only because I tried it like again in 2019 or 2018 and it worked much better. Alright, I forgot already about this one. I think it's Paintstorm, and I think it's Paintstorm. I haven't tried it, but I don't know. I didn't try it, and it was the first time hearing about it. So yeah, it goes to haven't tried. Okay, the next one is not Adobe, my bad. I was about to say Adobe, I'm sorry. Autodesk Sketchbook Pro. I used it only on phone, and what can I say, it's amazing. I used it like in 2015, but only on the phone. But I heard the PC version is more better because you have a bigger screen, and I saw a lot of popular artists drawing on this app, and one of my, I don't know, 2016 favorite artists, Tori, used to draw and still draws, I think, on this app. So yeah, it's an amazing app, and for me back then it was amazing. It's still available on the phone too, so that's cool. I think though it's only like the trial. Back then I remember it was the full one, or there are two types. It's like the free version that has less tools and the pro version that has all the tools. I don't know. I remember it was like that in 2015, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know. So yeah, Autodesk Sketchbook goes in the B tier. It's not on the A tier because I used it so little, but I used it like in that little time I used it a lot that I actually started to like, and it also has some great tools, not gonna lie, so here it goes in the B tier. Alright, next is Infinity Painter or Infinity Paint. I don't know, I haven't tried it. I remember a friend is using it for her drawings on Instagram, so that's from where I know about this art software, because yeah, I wished it was in my times, because from what I saw in screenshots. It's an amazing paint program, and I wish I had this back in my days. I sound so old, but I'm only 19. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I haven't tried it, but maybe I can make a video trying like art programs that I haven't tried. It will be fun, but only after I change my USB port. It's a long story. If you follow me on Instagram, you know the story, because I made like a whole serial, TV show, reality drama about this on my stories. So yeah. Anyway, moving on. Adobe Illustrator. It's like the brother of Photoshop, and I used it. Not so much, but it's an amazing art program. It works on vectors, which I'm not so familiar with. That's why I don't really use it, because it's like a vector program. You use vectors to draw, and if you draw in Adobe Illustrator and you master it, I respect you, my friend, because that program is kind of hard. I mean, Animate or the old Flash, Adobe Flash, it's hard, but this one it's easier than Flash. So anyway, but yeah, Adobe Illustrator is nice. I really like it, and it helps me to open files when my Photoshop files are corrupted. So yeah, anyway, I don't know if I should put it in the B tier or A tier, because I don't know, or even C tier, because I have some bad memories with Dyna.I. I don't know, man. I don't know. I will put it on the B for now. Maybe my opinion will change later, but I don't think so. Okay, let's see what's next. You can't see it, but it's black ink. I don't think a lot of you know about it. I didn't know either until 2019, I think, or even 2018. I don't know, in 2018 or 2019 I knew about it, but I think it was 2019. Anyway, my girlfriend also showed it, and she drew like this drawing and showed me like it's amazing, but I only tried like the trial version. It's good, not gonna lie. It's not my cup of tea, and because I haven't really drawn in it, it goes on the C list. I'm sorry, but maybe if I was a bit more familiar with the tools, maybe I would give it like a B, I don't know. But the interface and the tools are a bit strange to me, and I'm not so familiar with that type, because every program has interface that it's very easy to use, but Blacking has one that it's pretty hard actually. So yeah. Photoshop, I will give it an S tier right away, even if it annoys me to the freaking point. I love it. I use it every day to draw, and I fucking love it. Basically, it's like my art program since 2017, so from almost 5 years ago. In the January of 2002, there will be 5 years since I'm using Photoshop, and this is amazing, like actively, because I have been using Photoshop like for drawings from here and there since 2014, so that's something. Anyway, but I will give it an S tier because it's my favorite art program and it does its job so freaking well. Anyway, you got my point. I know a lot of you will maybe fight me in the comments, because why did you put passions.I, such an amazing program, on the A tier and Photoshop on the S tier? Again, I said it's my own opinion. At the start, when I started drawing in Photoshop, I was on the same vibe, like passions.I is better, so that's why I still use it for some time until I got more familiar with Photoshop. But back then I didn't know so much about like brushes in Photoshop, but after I discovered brushes and what you can do with brushes, Photoshop became one of my best buds of drawing. Like, if this makes sense, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, my point stands. Photoshop is better than Paint.I in my own opinion, because I know some people maybe will come in the comments and say Paint.I is better than Photoshop. Okay, it's your own opinion. My opinion stands. Photoshop is better than Paint.I. Anyway, let's move on. We have GIMP or GIMP, I don't know. I used it for like a week or 2 weeks in the April of 2015 when I started to like search for art programs to draw, and GIMP was there. I loved it back then because it had like these patterns, like you could just take with your paint bucket and paint over, and it had like these funky patterns, like more like a retro 2000s, you know, early 2000s. But per total it's not so amazing. It had like these tools, brush types, but I never really use it that much besides some artworks. I think I've done only 5 or 6 artworks in it, and they were decent, but I'm sorry, GIMP, whatever you name it, maybe now it's better, but I've used it back in 2015. But anyway, I will give it a D. I'm sorry, for my own perspective, it wasn't so good, so yeah. Alright, next we have Coral Painter, which I didn't really use. I tried to use it, but for some reason it didn't really work, and I was so confused with the interface that I didn't even really use it. So I'm sorry, I will also give a D for Coral Painter. From what I've gathered, like from information, now it's better, but I'm sorry, I didn't really understand like the interface or something. I'm sorry. Anyway, Epi's Paint. This goes straight to A, and it's common sense because it's like the first art program that comes when you search paint in like the search bar on app stores or Google Play or Google Store, whatever. And basically it's also a wide known app and you can do so much with it. The thing that annoys me, and that's why I didn't put it on S because I could put it on S, is that you have to watch an ad to unlock all the brushes, and those don't stay live for 24 hours. No, they are staying for 18 hours, and this freaking annoys me. Ibis, I know you have like also paid version, but do something with the free version. Like maybe put it for 24 hours, not 18. Why 18? Why? Now I'm raged. Because it fits with the next art program theme, Art Rage. I noticed from a friend back then that also drew me like a nice art, a nice drawing. I requested like me and her at the beach, and that's why I know about Art Rage, because she had like this graphic tablet that came with Art Rage 4, if I remember correctly. I don't know what version, but I know it came with Art Rage. So yeah, that's from where I know it. Back then I didn't really know what's a trial version, so I was trying to find the full version without like paying for it and maybe installing like the Trojan horses on my laptop, my PC back then. So yeah, but I never really got to draw. I got to draw, and I really love like the interface kind of type, and like the thing that made me like say, wow, this program is amazing, it's like they had like their color wheel, and they still have it like in this part, like this, if you know what I mean, like rounded a bit. It wasn't like a triangle or like a square or like a circle like every normal art program has. No, it's like this, and it has variety of tools, so that's cool too. Anyway, I know a lot of people draw in this and still draw in it, and they are amazing. But for my own perspective from back then, yeah, I will put it in C. I could have put it in D, but I will put it in C because I still drew something with it. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on to Art Waiver. I haven't really tried it, so I'm sorry. I think it's bad from what I heard, like a lot of people actually hate it, but I've seen like screenshots like on Google that people actually like it, some don't like it, I don't know. I never really tried it, so anyway, next we have Clip Studio Paint, or the old Manga Studio for the knowers. This will maybe a bit shocker, but for my own perspective, Clip Studio Paint is better than Paint.I. Beat me if I'm wrong. But from my own perspective and from my own lack of, I don't know, maybe tastes, I don't know, call me however you want. But from my own perspective, Clip Studio Paint is better. I know there is a second version of Paint.I out there, and I really tried it, and it's cool, but it's only in beta from what I've known. And there is also like a full release version, but it doesn't feel like full release either. So yeah, Clip Studio Paint is better than Paint.I. Beat me, but that's my own opinion. Plus, Clip Studio Paint is a program where I go when I am too lazy to draw in Photoshop, so yeah. Anyway, next is Inkscape, and I don't think a lot of you know what Inkscape is. It's like an art program, but it's a very bad one, believe me, I've tried it. I know a friend that like really succeeded to draw in this program, but I never succeeded, like never. I just could never understand how it works. So you go in D in space. I'm sorry. Anyway, next we have Medibank, I think it's called. Yeah, Medibank. I haven't really drawn in it very much. I know about it from a friend, and I also think it's very similar with Fire Alpaca, so that's that. Anyway, from my own perspective, it's a B tier, not an A tier, but also at the same time it is, because it has more like tools than Fire Alpaca. I don't know. Yeah, it's an A tier. I've drawn like some drawings in Medibank, and it's better than Fire Alpaca. So yeah, that is that. I don't know. Yeah, anyway. Next we have Paint 3D, which is the new paint program, if you don't know, that came with the Microsoft update back last year or 2 years ago. I can't remember exactly. Anyway, I haven't really drawn in it, but I saw people try. I say I didn't really try, even though I drew something, but like at randomly, like to see how powerful this program is, because Microsoft was advertising for it by being a better version of MS Paint, and it also had layers. I can't remember, I didn't really open it since then, so I'll put it in a C, not Z. C because it's decent, you know. Now we have a really so hard paint program, and that is paint.net. For those who don't know what paint.net is, it's like basically a paint program, like obviously. Anyway, this was my childhood back in 2014. For me it was a very nice program, a very professional program, because I don't think it still has it, if it still has it, but I think it still has it because it's like an art, like their trade. It has like this miniature of your canvas and you can see live what you're drawing, but like the miniature thing. This thing made me wanted to try because I saw like this artist that drew like amazing drawings with it, and I wanted, so of course I had to try it, and I drew a lot with it nonetheless. So I will put it in the B tier for that, not the A tier, because it's not the best, but it did its job at the time and I freaking love it. Alright, so give it a shot. I don't know if now would be a best paint program, but for back then it was amazing. Next we have Fire Alpaca. I think it's a B tier actually, not an A tier, because as you remember I said that Medibang has better tools than Fire Alpaca. Even though with Fire Alpaca I drew more, I don't know if I should put like this, because I don't know, I drew more with Fire Alpaca, but it has like so basic tools and I hate like the interface, so I will put it like on the B tier for that, as I said. Even though like I drew more with Fire Alpaca, maybe I would have drawn more with Medibank if I knew about it, but yeah. Anyway, next we have Affinity Design. I think it's Affinity Design, yeah. Haven't really tried it, and haven't really tried like the photo version either. Next we have Procreate. I don't have an iPad, so I haven't tried it, lol. But from my own opinion, I think Procreate is like too overrated, and I would probably, if I hadn't tried it, I would probably put it in C or B, because I don't know, from my honest perspective, from what I saw, Photoshop is better. I only like the interface in Procreate, it's original. Also the logo for the app, it's cute. I like the feather and the black. It's like very minimalistic, and I really like minimalistic logos. But other than that, I can do that in Photoshop, you know. And in the end we have MS Paint, which is like a classic, and you can put it in A. You have to put it in S, only because it's a classic. It can compare with Photoshop or Clip Studio Paint, but MS Paint was maybe the father that got me where I am, and I use it till 2016, till I got my own graphic tablet. Anyway, this is like the tier list. We have Photoshop, Clip Studio and MS Paint. On the A we have Paint.I, Ibis and Medibank. On the B we have Sketchbook Pro, Adobe Illustrator, Paint.net and Fire Alpaca. On the C we have Krita, Black Ink, Art Rage and Paint 3D. On the D we have GIMP or GIMP, I don't know, Coral Painter and Inkspace, and then we have Paint Store, Infinite Painter, Artwave, in Affinity Designer and Procreate. Yeah, that was the video. I hope you liked it, and I hope you didn't got like very bothered by it, because maybe you got. I'm sorry if I did. Write in the comments how you would rate those art programs. Maybe Clip Studio Paint for you, it's in the B tier, and I don't know, Ibis is in the S tier, or Paint.I it's in the D tier, because I've heard so many opinions on Paint.I recently that a lot of people dropped Paint.I and went with Procreate or Clip Studio Paint. and from my own opinion I can agree with that. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe with the bell to receive notifications from when I upload, even though I have like a very bad schedule timetable right now. I try to upload every Saturday, I guess, even though I don't know if I can. We will see. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok if you want, because they are in the description if you want to see more from me and my life and my reality show with the USB port. Anyway, I was Dina. He was Bruno, my cat that slept all the time while I was filming this, and we will see you in the next one. Goodbye!